Welcome to the shooting show. Later on in the show we'll bring you all the news from the general licence debacle, but first we're back down south stalking with Chris.
Day 2 AM if you like, and again, because of the situation, Phil asked us to go back into the grounds. I mean, it's quite large grounds. Perfect conditions for muntjac. Actually fallow in there as well, and the estate owner was complaining bitterly about the number of muntjac numbers were increasing and the damage they were doing. So our brief was to get in there and try and shoot some. It's actually quite bizarre when you're kind of almost shooting from somebody's front lawn, and that was really pretty much the scenario. Phil dropped us off and that was the brief. We got a muntjac, a young muntjac doe came out. It was actually 210 yards shot. Ow! We'll have a go for that. So we legged it across the lawn, Brian in pursuit. One thing I neglected to remember was that Brian had had a car crash about 10 days prior to coming stalking. In fact, it was debatable whether he was actually going to come, and broken, I think, 2 or 3 vertebrae in the back of his neck. So he was wearing a neck brace in a great deal of pain. So me getting him to run across the lawn and then drop down on the floor was probably not helpful to his medical recovery. But anyway, he's lived to fight another day, so we were okay. Got down on the bipod and within probably 2 minutes of getting out of the car we'd got a muntjac. So we recovered the muntjac, and then I thought we'd just go and have a bit of a recce. We stalked off then and actually found another couple of muntjac, a buck and a doe. Stalked into that and got the shot, and that was probably again only about 20 minutes after the first deer. So within half an hour we'd got actually 2 deer on the ground. So we sort of dealt with the deer, recovered that back, and I thought for the last 20 minutes we'd probably just go back to the big house and kind of just sit on the edge of the lawn. The light was going quite fast actually. It's quite a dark, quite a cool evening. It's going to be quite a bit of frost. So I was just doing a last bit of filming around Brian, really just getting a bit of scene setting for you guys watching, and his kind of finger went up like that with a thumb, and I kind of thought it was indicating it was all right to keep filming. What it was actually indicating to me was another deer had come out. He actually shot that one as well, just on last knockings really, last light, which scared the crap out of me because I wasn't expecting the shot. It was perfectly safe and everything, just wasn't expecting it. So I jumped a mile, not sure we got that on camera, it had all been shaking anyway. So that was muntjac 3, so I think quite a good job done actually. So we'd made up for Elmer's messing around in the morning. So a good day really. Phil the keeper was delighted when he came to pick us up that evening.
Just about losing the light now. Just about met Brian out sat on the lawn looking down the right to the folly. I jumped out my skin when he shot that third one. I wasn't expecting it, but good evening.
Okay, so Wednesday was the last morning down at Phil's. I took Elmer out again for, we were on a fairly tight schedule.
Okay, this is second morning out. Very still this morning, a little bit of wind, a tricky one, it's swirling around but not much. The muntjac have been barking in the wood on our left, but you can see it, but it's just too early to identify what it is. So we're just going to wait a bit here, just let the light come a little bit. It's a lovely little corner, there was some fallow down here yesterday evening, so that's why we've dropped into this area.
Didn't see very little. There's a huge moon, a really big moon. I think a lot of deer have been feeding at night, and they were probably, particularly with the muntjac, they were laid up in all the crap and thick brambles like they do during the day, so we didn't actually see very much at all. It was a stalk that really deserved a deer. We did eventually, nearly again at last knockings before breakfast, get into a cracking buck which we could have shot, but that was not on the menu, and I don't think Phil would have been very pleased if we'd have shot it. It was an absolute corking buck. You'll see that on camera. So the morning stalk was the first outing really that session where we hadn't come back with a deer. But you don't mind that, because it's absolutely cracking morning to be out and a pleasure to be down there. Beautiful estate, and we'd all enjoyed it.
Chris there, finally bringing home the bacon. And now it's the Shooting Show news.
This is the Shooting Show news. Chaos has broken out over the general licences, which were unexpectedly revoked in England last week. A challenge from the wildlife campaign group Wild Justice convinced the new head of Natural England that the general licences were illegal, so it took them away pending the establishment of new licences, giving countrymen just 2 days' notice of the change. This effectively made it illegal to shoot pest birds such as pigeons, crows and magpies without applying for an individual licence first. Natural England is slowly rolling out new general licences that it says are properly underpinned by law. However, Basque has said that the new licence for carrying crows, released on Friday, is not fit for purpose and urged Natural England to revert to the original licence. As of today, none of the other licences were released yet. So if you want to shoot wood pigeons to protect crops, ferals in barns or marauding magpies, you need to download an application form from the address on screen now. You'll need to select the right bird species and the right reason for controlling them, then email or post the form off and wait for the response. In other words, it's a setup that's not much use if your crops are being hammered by birds right now. Shooting organisations have written to the Environment Secretary and told him the situation is unworkable. More updates as we get them. In other news, the British Schools and Young Shots Championship is this Saturday at Atkin Granton Lang. This much-loved annual event for under-18s has got bigger than ever this year thanks to prize sponsorship from Webley, Armsan, Sealand, Basque and Clay Shooting magazine. They've all come together to offer the overall winner a prize bundle that could really catapult a promising young shot to stardom. For last-minute entries, call Atkin Granton Lang using the number on screen now. And it's less than a month until the Clay Shooting Classic comes to Garland's Shooting Ground. Starting on Tuesday the 28th of May with the Fit Ask and Sport Trap events running until Thursday, the Classic then runs its 150 bird sporting until Sunday the 2nd of June. Some days are already full, so if you're keen to secure your place, contact the Clay Shooting Company now. That was the Shooting Show news.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.